welcome back to tournament prep. It is day 6, I believe, and I'm 2 days away from a little tournament. So I've got a Devon Winter Medal at Saunton, which is a great golf course, links course. On Thursday, it's Tuesday at the time of filming this, so you're probably watching it on a Wednesday, if not just after. And really today is a concentrated swing day, really. I'm going down there and I'm going to spend 4 hours hitting balls. I'm not going to play any holes today, but this is just a targeted range session with some wedge work afterwards. There's a few things that I'm trying to slowly implement into my golf swing, so I'm going to be focusing on those, and then I'm going to spend the last portion of the session with the TrackMan, hopefully, if it's working, because it wasn't working recently, with that TrackMan, and dialing in some yardages and trying to control my trajectory, and yeah, just trying to really dial in some numbers with those wedges. But what I will say is, if you're really trying to improve your golf, because obviously this doesn't really apply if you're just going down the range on like a Thursday evening, you just fancy hitting some balls, and that's fine, like with your mates, maybe get like a curry in a basket or a beer in a basket, whatever, however it works. If you're just going to do that, then that's fair enough. But if you're looking to improve, it always pays to have sort of like a goal in mind when you're going down to the range. So you want to get a bit specific with exactly what you're trying to achieve in that range session. Say you're trying to work on some swing stuff. What I would try to do is maybe just want to completely be working on swing work at the range, and that's absolutely fine. So spend your entire session, because we are out of season, and I doubt there's many people that are actually playing regular golf at the moment. So if that's the case, then yeah, just go down and hit some balls and work on the things that you're working on with your coach. I'll find when it's closer to season, it really pays to sort of like schedule your practice out. So you'll say, for instance, I was going down today, and I have got a tournament on Thursday, so there will be a portion of my session today where I start to switch over to, right, so it's going to be swing work, and it's going to be swing focuses and feels, not too worried about where the ball's going, but hoping that some of the moves are producing the results that I'm after. So I'll go through that, and then just before I hit some wedges, I'll probably spend some time in structured sort of like target practice, where I'm going through full routine, and I'm picking a shot, say 180 yards with 7 iron. You can do this on TrackMan, and that's where it's really good to practice on TrackMan. So you can do this target thing where you pick 120 to 180, and it randomizes targets, and then every single shot is full routine and going through it. So I'll have a bit of that at the end. But as it is still technically tournament prep, I'm going to be mainly focusing on swing moves today, and I might go into some of them. I might not. It's probably going to be quite focused when I get down there today. So that's a pretty good practice. Really getting into like those new feels, or not really new feels, but those feels that I'm just slowly trying to implement. It's all based around just trying to become the most consistent golfer I can. Like this year is a slightly different, I'm looking at it in a slightly different way. Like I'm approaching golf more as a business, really, because, you know, I'm competing on the West region full time. I'm going to be playing full-time tournament golf, and really, I'm trying to just build the most consistent golf game that I can, and that is, you know, how do I do that? It's just basically just gaining control of the golf ball. So trying to have a very consistent shot pattern, a consistent ball flight, trying to really like dial in the flight, the trajectory, just have control of the golf ball, and then with that have a pretty good short game, and then you're straight away you're in a position to do well. Like the guys that I've seen that have done well in the West region, and even the guys that, when I was caddying for Steve, and I go back to this a lot, but I probably go back to it a lot because it was a time where I learned a lot about golf and how to actually play the game. Because in that period, and especially the first trip, I went there with, people just love to be twats on the road, don't they? Went there with the expectation of, right, I'm really going to see some, we could pull some like really like good playing partners, and I'm going to see some impressive stuff. But really, I never saw anything that was like, wow, apart from a couple of their short games. But really, the thing that stood out was there was a few golfers that were very unimpressive, and I remember this one just completely tripped me out. We were playing a practice round at Ram Park, and we were playing with Thomas Aiken. Now, Thomas Aiken has won, I think, about 3 times on the DP World Tour, and he's won a few mil, and he's living in the Bahamas, I think. So he's living a decent life. Now, I didn't actually know it was Thomas Aiken until Steve said, by the way, that's Thomas Aiken. He's won blah, blah, blah. And like, he had ultra, like really, really, really strong grip, and he was just cutting it and just sort of just cutting across it in these big 40-yard slices. And he was hitting about 260. But he had so much control of what he was doing. Like, that was his game, and he knew his game inside out, obviously, and he could play with that. Yeah, if there was a long golf course, I'm sure that he would struggle a bit hitting it the distance he did. But there was a few instances of that just really stood out, where there was very, I don't want to say unimpressive because that sounds a bit disrespectful, but not very impressive golfers that had earned a lot of money. And really, all it comes down to is, can you control your ball? Do you know how to think on a golf course? Like, are you playing smart? Are you getting the most out of your game? And then, how good are you from inside 100 yards? And then, how good can you putt and save par when you need to? And it's really as simple as that. I know it sounds very obvious, but sometimes, like when you're trying to get better at golf, you're always like, oh, I wish I could swing it like this, or I wish I looked a bit more like this golfer, or I wish I could hit, 290-yard high draws with 3-wood. When in reality, that may be, for starters, that may be like way out of touch or way out of reach anyway. But like, it's just probably looking in the wrong areas. And I definitely was. I used to think, I always used to think I was quite a talented ball striker, without sounding arrogant. But it doesn't matter how talented you are, how well you can like flush an iron, or what kind of ball flights you can hit on a driving range. If you can't sort of like predictively get your golf ball from A to B, and have a very tidy rest of the game in terms of your 100 yards and in your short game. So yeah, those things really stood out. I've sort of gone off on a tangent there, but what I'm trying to say is that's where I'm really focusing this year, because I've gone right this year. I want to do well in tournaments and earn money, because that's the whole idea of playing professional golf, is to earn money. It's not just there to playing tournaments
I'm enjoying my. It's like, nah, you really want to do well and earn money. That's the idea. So my thoughts over the winter, right? How can I get a golf game that is going to earn me money? And that is the direction I'm going down. Predictable shot pattern, good from inside 100 yards, putt well, putt consistently well, and I sort of built my game back off of that as my goal, earning money as a professional golfer. So yeah, just again, just a few different thoughts on the way back. Tomorrow I'm going to be heading down for a good full day of practice. I had quite a lot to deal with in the morning today. I'm trying to sort out, sponsorship for this trip, so there's a few, back and forth with emails, bits and pieces. But anyway, tomorrow I want a full day of practice, and I would really like to get somewhere to play golf tomorrow, to actually have a round of golf. So I'm ready to go on Thursday. So I'm gonna try. With any luck, I'll be showing you a lot of golf on a golf course, maybe sort of like every shot for 18 holes. I really want to do that. So let's hope that's coming tomorrow. As always, I hope you're good. Please let me know your thoughts on some of the stuff that I'm talking about. I sort of feel like I'm waffling on, but it'd be good to continue the conversation in the comment section. And yeah, I'll catch you tomorrow.